Let's bring in Committee to Unleash Prosperity co-founder Steve Moore. Steve, it's always great to have you, and I want to get your reaction to this, because when you look under the hood of all of these numbers, not just the GDP number today, take the unemployment figures as well and what we're seeing in the labor economy, start to peel back those layers, and you realize that it's government spending, government hiring, bigger government that is holding everything up. That is not what you want to see. That's not real growth.
Yeah, well put, Jackie. And we've seen that in the last 4 or 5 or 6 jobs report, where the #1 increase in employment was either in government and healthcare. They had accounted for well over half of the jobs. And now we see it in the GDP report, where government spending ran well ahead of consumer spending. And there's a big problem there. We want to see the government contracting. After all, it's losing $2 trillion a year, and we want to see the private sector gaining much faster. I think the really interesting thing about what's happened in the last few days, since Kamala has been kind of the ordained as the new Democratic nominee, is that she and Biden have kind of voluntarily hogtied her to the Biden economic agenda. I don't understand that, because, as you said, 2/3 of Americans still rate the economy as best fair and many poor. And so that, as a Trump guy, I regard that as a positive thing, that she's not distancing herself from the Biden policies that led to these the high inflation, the fact that we have an out of control border, the fact that we have the biggest debt in the history of this country. She's embraced it. And so bring it on. Let's have this debate.
And Steve, it might actually come to fruition if she wins, which is something that I hope doesn't happen. But if she were to become president, the Biden agenda might look fabulous compared to the Harris agenda. Because you look at her policies that she's put out there, it is light years worse somehow.
Yeah, there was a lead article in the Wall Street Journal, I think today or yesterday morning, and it just outlined all the things that she's embraced and endorsed in recent years. I mean, she looks like she's more radical than AOC. I mean, she wants to get rid of private health insurance. Yeah. Remember the whole idea, if you love your insurance, you get to keep it? She doesn't want that. She has embraced the Green New Deal and $2 trillion more spending on that. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a reason why she has a more liberal voting agenda when she was in the Senate than, are you ready from this, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. I mean, Guy, how do you get to the left of them?
Takes real effort. And she put in that hard work.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think there was any room there.
Steve, let's get to this. We're looking at new home sales hitting a 7-month low. Mortgage rates continue to climb. Yeah. The rate for the 30-year fixed mortgage now sits around 6.8%.
A number that's out of reach for a lot of Americans. Not out of reach, though, for Kamala Harris. She locked in at a rate less than 3%, which is nice. And I think a lot of people would envy that these days, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. I mean, the mortgage rate when Trump left office was right about 3%. And then it zoomed up to above 7. I think it's right around 7, maybe a little bit below that right now. But what does that mean for the average person who's buying a house? It means that your average mortgage payment over the next 30 years will be about twice as high. So instead of being, say, $1,200 a month, you're going to pay about $2,500 a month. So there's a reason why people in their late 20s and 30s and early 40s are really struggling to be able to achieve the American dream and own a home. Home ownership is falling under Joe Biden.
Well, you look at it, and essentially, Steve, what you're saying is that it costs twice as much to own the house that you wanted to have, so people aren't doing it. The other thing is that you've got people out there saying, well, the supply is going up, so things are getting a little better, but the prices are not coming down. You know why? Because most people are holding out on a higher price because it's higher to exist in this Biden-Harris economy, and they're saying, I can't just give my house away because mortgage rates are high, and that's why this economy is, or the housing market rather, is stalling.
It's a strange situation we have in housing. I think something clearly has to give, and I think what's going to give is that I think home values are going to probably have to come down, especially if these interest rates remain as high as they are right now. But you have, look, we just put out a report at Unleash Prosperity. We looked at 20 of the major economic measurements where you would measure how well the economy did under the Trump administration and the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah. And what we found is that 8 out of 18 out of the 20 Trump's performance has been superior. So again, bring it on. Let's put these two. Harris is representing the Biden agenda. Donald Trump wants to bring back those policies. The American people will decide which ones they think better. I love this line by her saying, oh, we represent the future.
Right.
You mean the future with like a $50 trillion debt? That's the future for America?
And it's always the same old ideas that they always bring up, tax and spend.
Exactly.
We're talking about housing. What about upkeep on cars? According to new data, more Americans than ever are driving around without car insurance, making coverage, of course, then more affordable, or less affordable, excuse me, more expensive for everyone else.
Yeah, and that is another one of those kinds of essential things that people, you know, if you look at food, if you look at insurance, if you look at rent, if you look, those things are up 25 or 30% in price, and that's why people don't really buy these official numbers. And incidentally, I just have to comment on that one statistic you had in that poll saying people think that Kamala Harris will do a better job on climate change. I mean, here's a woman who completely failed in controlling the border, but people think she's going to change the temperature of the planet? Really?
It's pretty amazing.
Good point.
Steve Moore, always great to see you. Thanks so much for dropping by.
See you guys.